Hi everyone, and welcome to the Scorpio March 2022 mid-month engagement reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. And what does that mean? It means to better understand where you fit. Okay, so Scorpio, this reading is meant to be basically a mid-month reminder to keep yourself with awareness engaged, your unique, internal, singular self engaged with your external life experience. And this is really to help us remember that it's not about just moving through life kind of unaware, letting the days go by. This is about keeping ourselves engaged with our spiritual purpose and importance, so that we can ultimately be of service to the greater collective experience. All right, let's see what Scorpio needs to know for the month of March, for the mid-month. What to focus on for the second half of this month. Now, the monthly, oh, that is way too many. Sorry, guys. It's interesting, though. The card that came out there was a card of divine femininity, which is interesting. There's a quality kind of lining up. It was just women's, what is the world? World's Women's Day. Oh, all of a sudden I can't talk. I'm sorry, Scorpio. But it is interesting that came through. So there could be something about some of you guys really stepping up into that place of honoring your divine feminine aspect, even for those of you who are men. All right, so this is kind of the card that's the overarching message for you to focus on right now for the mid-month and into the second half of this month. And then I'm going to pull some additional cards here. So we have number 30, Dark Angel, and that breaks down to number 3, which is always the number of divinity for myself. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start by reading the little passage in the book that comes with this deck. It says, "The dark angel comes to you with a radical truth. Divine love is always there for you without exception. Love will never forget you. It'll never stop caring for you. Even when it seems most unlikely, in fact, especially then, the divine is reaching for you and nurturing you. Even our wounds are ways that we can discover love and divine grace through the healing process. The divine is always helping you remember who you are and to find your true joy. When the dark angel appears, you are being given a gift of light, even if it may seem to be a hidden blessing." So this is a really beautiful thing to focus on for the second half of this month, is to really think about the energy of love and to understand that even when we go through periods of kind of dark or troubling times where we feel maybe disconnected from the best parts of love, which is the supportive element of that energy, that ultimately what that time is meant to bring back to us is actually grounding us even stronger in the energy of love, because we now understand what we're capable of. We understand this divine love for ourselves. And the more that we grow in that element of understanding the multifaceted quality of love, of that energy, the more we have the ability to not only give that kind of love to others, because we understand that life can be difficult. We understand that we all go through difficult times, that we can then also open ourselves up in having that channel open of love for us to give. We then are able to receive it in equal measure. So there's this quality of really kind of coming to this equilibrium through the energy of love, of understanding that we all go through times that are tough. And it's almost like this kind of forgiving of others for their failures as much as you can forgive yourself for your failures. We all have parts of ourselves that are not meant to be as, let's say, strong as other aspects of ourselves. And we have to forgive ourselves for that. That's what makes us a unique being. We all have parts of ourselves that will be great here and lesser there, and great here and lesser there. And that's what makes each one of us a singularity. And that's really, I think, it's strange. The intuitive message I'm getting through here is to really see the beauty in your failings and in your maybe imperfections, or what you see as an imperfection, as much as you love yourself for all the things that you're great at. And to bring that level of awareness and love, and that also embodies divine forgiveness, and be able to do that for others too. That to understand that maybe there are parts of others that you feel are kind of, not that they're failing, but that there are other parts of other people that you feel are imperfect, and to love those just as much, because for whatever area they are imperfect in your opinion or your perspective, they are more perfect or highly advanced in another aspect that might actually really, I think, what's interesting is when we think about how we can be different from other people and how opposites can attract, it's because there's this law of divine balance that's always at play, that where one person is strong, another person can be weak. And those two things can offset each other in a beautiful way. And that's what kind of allows this element of divine balance to go through what can seem like kind of chaos, to see, 8 billion people in the world, all with different levels of imperfections. And yet we can all allow that to be a part of a greater collective experience, and to lend beauty to that greater collective experience. So there's something in that, and something in also that there can be beauty in the dark times. There's a reminder here of understanding that when we do go through collective dark periods in human history, in our experience, like we are kind of going through right now actually, that there's always seeds of beauty and divine design that lie within that. And we have to trust that what will be unlocked with all of humanity going through a collective experience like this at one time, that we're all going through a collective challenge that's going to unlock all of those perfection areas within ourselves that are meant to be highlighted. And I don't, for some reason, I feel like you guys need to hear that. So there's an element of faith in the dark times, to know that this is meant to highlight the good, the good within all of us. All right, Scorpio. So I'm going to pull a card here to take a look at the concept of curiosity, courage, and contemplation. So we're first going to start with where Spirit would like you to stay open and curious to for the second half of this month. This is really to get us to step into that place of awe and wonder, and kind of being open to what we don't know, So let's see, what does Scorpio need to stay open to and curious about? Beautiful. Number 4, higher power. Yeah, there's something here coming through very strongly on a spiritual level for you guys for the second half of this month, to have faith. Have faith in a higher power. Now, this does not have to be religious. You do not have to pick a specific religion. You do not have to see the higher power as, let's say, God, so to speak. This is more that there is something beyond our understanding. And that is something that each one of us can't deny, because we will never know everything about everything. That is just not going to happen in our singular lifetime. But we can step into a place of faith to understand that there is something greater, that there is a grand architect, that there is a divine design, which is why the universe lends towards balance, lends towards order in the middle of what can seem like chaos. And it's about staying curious to that, staying curious to, instead of kind of going deep into the depths of sometimes the darker aspects of our experience, because Scorpio, you are a sign that can dive deep. In fact, you thrive in those depths. But there's also the element of understanding you're not just meant to live in the depths. of the emotional, of the human experience, but in the emotional side of the human experience. You're also meant to be able to fly. You are a sign, an astrological sign that actually has multiple symbols connected to it, instead of most of the signs that just have one or possibly two. You have the scorpion, you have the eagle, and you have the phoenix, which all three of these are very powerful signs. And it shows a kind of rising up. You have the scorpion component, which is your ability to sting, your ability to have a hard exterior. And you sting because you generally tell the truth. But you can go one level up from that and step up into the energy of the eagle, which the eagle is able to soar and see farther. And you can develop a way to speak the truth without the sting. And then you can go one step further up from there, and you can literally set yourself on fire and be reborn. You are the phoenix to rise again. And at that point, you are truly able to set the world ablaze with truth. And I feel that right now, this is what you're kind of being asked to step up into, is that stepping up into that higher version, sorry guys, of yourself with faith that there is a higher divine purpose to what is going on in the world and in your life right now. And that the whole divinity of this is meant to unlock some aspect of good and of love in the universe. So I always love this picture because it looks almost like there's like this keyhole in her forehead, and it looks like, you know, it's shining light out, like the divine is going to come in and kind of unlock your soul. The number 4 really speaks to building strong, firm foundations. So stay curious and open to maybe where you're limiting yourself and really stepping up into that faith in the higher power, something beyond yourself, and also where you stay curious to where you are limiting yourself to staying with Scorpion when you have the ability to become the Phoenix. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a card for what Spirit would like you to, or where Spirit would like you to have the courage to take action. Oh my gosh, this is the exact same card that Cancer got. Interesting. It's such a hard deck for me to shuffle too. It's crazy, it just popped out like that. Okay, so this is Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery with the number 8. The number 8 is a number I associate with personal empowerment. It's also a number I associate with the sacral chakra, which is about creativity. And I love this. Higher power, life is a mystery. There is something here about, again, Spirit asking you to have that faith, asking you to have the faith to understand that life, along with change, the only other constant in life for us is the unknown, is the mystery that we live within, because we will never, again, know everything about everything. So when you're feeling maybe you don't have the courage to act in the way that you want to act, or to act in the most empowered version of yourself courageously, that Spirit is asking you to remember that life is a mystery. We don't always know the repercussions of our actions, but when we have faith in the higher power and we act from the highest place within ourselves, we can know that we are part of that mystery and that we are a beneficial part of that mystery. So there's something here to understand, I think, to kind of help you feel more empowered as well, that when you act from a place of love and you act from a place of the highest version of yourself, it will always be of service to growing light in dark times. And you may not understand in that moment what that ripple effect will be, but there will always be one. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to pull a final card here for the concept of contemplation. So this is where Spirit would like you to reflect for the second half of this month. What Spirit like you to be aware of for the second half of this month? It's a very deep message. It's a very simple message, but an incredibly powerful one for you, Scorpio. That there's this element here of really trusting, because what you do will have great impact. Oh my gosh. Your final card is Believe. It says the force that works through your soul, determining what's possible or impossible, the difference between success over failure, and above all, who you are, is the power of your belief. So yeah, Scorpio, there is a deep, deep feeling coming through of believe. Believe that there is more. Believe that this time of darkness, and even previous times of darkness that you've gone through, they are for a reason, and that in addition to that reason, you are a bigger part. You are an important part of this collective experience, and that where you choose to take action, and by choosing to step up again into the highest version of yourself and coming from that energy of love, of divine love, know that it will be of service during these dark times. So continue to act with faith and with awareness that you are acting not as the scorpion, but as the phoenix. All right, Scorpio, I will leave you with that for the month of March. If you would like to illuminate your own personal spiritual importance and to see how it can be of service to yourself and others, you can click on the link in the description box below to book a personal reading or a one-on-one coaching session. And for the month of April, I will be running a special on my I Am Illuminated private reading, which is normally $150, but for the month of April, it'll be $111. And I will be releasing a little video before then to really talk about what that reading does, what it's meant to illuminate for you, and why it's important to understand your motivations and the parts of yourself that are meant to be of spiritual importance to the greater collective experience. And I hope that is my way of giving back in some way that I can during what is a darker time in our collective experience right now. So keep your eye out for that. But if I don't see you until April's illumination reading, I hope you all have a wonderfully empowering and faithful rest of the month. Bye, Scorpio.